good morning everyone. Nening is here again. Welcome to my channel. Today's video guys, I wanna share to you that video that's made for my sweetheart. Another video that's made for my sweetheart. Hey, making a banana bread guys. But before on that, I wanna say again and again and again, thank you so much to all of you, to all of my subscribers, and to all of my silent viewers, and to all watching my videos. Thank you so much. Last November 1 guys, I just stopped running on my videos because I not yet verify my identity. I don't have yet a valid ID guys. I'm just waiting my postal ID. It's coming because it said when I renew my postal ID last September guys, it says that it's been 3 months before I receive my postal ID. But it is what it is. And here is it guys, the video that made for my sweetheart LDR. Welcome to my sweetheart banana bread tutorial. Enjoy watching mga guys.
Hello, and welcome to the Ning's Life in the Province channel. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you to all of our viewers, especially those that are here all the time, but even to our silent viewers. So it is October, and that is of course the burr season, and those of you in the Philippines know what I mean. It's the holiday season. You celebrate Christmas from, I guess, from September on. So, but here in the United States, we have to go through Halloween and Thanksgiving before we get to Christmas. At any rate, the holiday season always comes with a lot of baking, which I love to do. So I'm going to show you all how to make banana bread today. Many of you in the Philippines already know this. And if you have a better recipe, feel free to drop it down below and I'll take a look at it. And so let's get started, and I'll show you how we do it here in the good US of A. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is generously grease the sides and bottom of our bread pan like this. Gonna cook it at a 350 degree temperature, so just get that oven warming up just like that. Next we will combine our dry goods in the recipe into a bowl, the big bowl. This recipe calls for 2 cups of flour. Now, ideally, you would use a scale, and if you have no scale, then a little less ideally, you would sift your flour first. But I do not have a sifter, and I do not have a scale, and I do not feel that this recipe calls for exact measurements. I've made it enough times where I don't even level it off like this, so I'm kind of just showing you this so you kind of get an idea for how it's supposed to be done. But this recipe has some looseness in it, so we need 2 cups of flour. We need 1 cup of sugar. That's not working. There we go, 1 cup of sugar. And then we need to get our baking powders in there, which is going to be baking soda and baking powder. Let's see, got a little measuring spoons here. Okay, so baking soda will be a 1/2 teaspoon. Baking soda right here. 1/2 teaspoon. There we go. Goes in there. And then the baking powder is 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. So let's see here. There's This is a ½ teaspoon measurement, so I'll put 3 of those in there. Just like that. And then my cinnamon and nutmeg are a 1/4 teaspoon and an 1/8 of a teaspoon. Ooh, those are teeny tiny. Look how small the 1/8 of a teaspoon is. So that's our nutmeg. 1/8 of a teaspoon of nutmeg. There we go. And a 1/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon. There we go. And with that, and then we'll just take our whisk and get it all, whisk it all together real quick, like this. So when I add the wet ingredients, they'll all be evenly distributed, just like that. And then next, we are going to mash the bananas. The recipe calls for about 1.5 cups. I made that recipe with 1.5 cups and decided that it was better with more. So I usually put 3 good-sized bananas. Haven't made this in a while though, so I'll have to verify that that is at least 1.5 cups. We'll find out here in a minute because I measure them. So I like to use really ripe bananas. As you can see, they give off better flavor. Even a banana that is mostly black on the outside, as long as it's not all bruised on the inside or only lightly bruised, I find that they're just fine. In fact, better because they're sweeter. So we're gonna take a fork and mash that up. We don't want to over mash it. We want to have a few chunks still left in the bread, just for like that extra flavor. So once you start seeing some of the liquid come out of this, you know you've mashed it just a little bit, just about right actually. You don't want to turn it, you don't want to liquefy it though, because it's going to get mixed up into that batter, and just don't want big chunks. So that's about right there, where you still see a little bit of chunks of banana in there, but not a lot. So let's just make sure that we verify that that's about 1.5 cups. I do have one more banana, which looks like I might have to use actually. It does only look like about 1 cup. Oh yeah, that's only 1 cup. Okay, make that 4 or 5 bananas. Next, we'll scramble 2 large eggs. For those of you in the Philippines, you might want to do 3 if you're using like Visayan eggs, because I know they're smaller. So we're gonna scramble those up, and we're gonna add those to the bananas, and we're gonna kind of mix those together. Like this. And also a 1/2 cup of butter or margarine melted. If you don't have that, you can also use a 1/2 cup of oil. Seems to have a better flavor with the butter. Let's get that going. Okay, then next I'm going to add my bananas with my butter and my egg and get that mixed up real nice. That a good stir. Not trying to blend this with a mixer. I have an electric mixer, but I found that the banana bread has a better texture if I don't mix everything up too much. So I want this well mixed, but I don't want it blended. So I'll still have a lot of banana texture in the bread itself. So once these are all blended, I'll put them all in with the sugar and the salt and the flour and all that. These are looking pretty good here. Now, final stages here. Now I'll just mix this all together until the flour is just no longer noticeable. As soon as that happens, get it in the pan, get it in the oven. We'll have banana bread in about an hour. Alright, so now I'm not seeing any more flour down there around the edges or anywhere. So let's get it in the pan and get it in the oven. And with some delicious banana bread. Go into our greased bread pan. This all out of here, all this deliciousness. All right. So what I like to do is, because sometimes I notice that it takes an hour to cook, and so the top of the bread sometimes can burn a little bit. So what I'll usually do is cover that with tin foil for about the first 15 minutes that I'm cooking it or baking it, and then let that the top of that crust keep from turning too brown. Key is to take the tin foil off before the bread rises into it and makes contact with it. So I don't always do that, but let me get to that. So here's how you know if it's done. You put a knife into the middle, and if it comes out clean, it's done. So that means that it is done. That is our banana bread. Delicious! Okay, time for a piece of bread. After it's had a chance to cool. Delicious. Well, all right, now you know how to make banana bread. Any questions or suggestions in the comment section. If you liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up. It's the best way to support Alma's channel in the YouTube algorithms. And if you're liking her content and you haven't already, please smash that subscribe button. And until next time, bon appetit.